You're still live here with your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic this morning. And I'll tell you why, we miss hearing the hearty laughter caused by watching our favorite comedians on stage. I mean, I miss passionately cheering for our beloved sports stars in huge stadiums.
Oh, man.
I mean, we miss being gripped by our favorite actors in blockbuster films at the cinema. But the closer we all get to being vaccinated, the closer we are to this becoming reality again.
It's a line in the sand. Just look at what's happening in countries that have taken it on board. Now they've got football fans back in the stadium. That's all I'm dreaming about. We've heard the likes of Riyad Musa, Thunani Hlatshwayo, Faf de Klerk, and of course the gorgeous Pearl Thusi have now joined forces to dispel misconceptions around the COVID-19 vaccine and encourage everyone to get vaccinated as part of the Viral Facts #BeASaver campaign. We love the sound of that, and we love the face of this girl. Pearl is on video right now to share a little bit more about it and for a catch-up. Just look at that face. My goodness. I think you know that you have been one of my favorites forever and ever and a day. And of course, we've got a fangirl here. We love you, man. So first of all, I've got to ask you, how are you during these crazy times?
Wow, it's been a roller coaster for me, hey? For me, my children, my pets, I think I was just happy to have everyone home for a change. But it's been a roller coaster financially, psychologically, physically. So this journey's been very difficult, that I must say. But I found the silver lining and I'm appreciating all the good that's coming with it, because I've just realized, tough situations don't last, tough people do.
100%.
And I've decided to...
Yeah, and you continue to slay, you continue to just show up. Let's talk about the vaccine, girl. It is out there, it is here. There's an amount of vaccine hesitancy as the rollout continues to gain momentum in South Africa. What do you think has contributed to this?
I think everything that has had anything to do with this virus has heavily been surrounded and inflicted and injected with pain and fear. And whenever there's a lot of fear and pain for people, it becomes even a bigger problem than the pandemic, because now to find solutions, everything that comes up causes fear, and people, then there's propaganda that's good, there's propaganda that's bad or confusing. So I think a lot of the fear and confusion that's been caused by the virus itself, it's human nature for when something is new, for people to be afraid and hesitant and doubtful. And I've been there, where I was just taking in the wrong information. And it's not like I wanted to support a specific type of thing, but I just was consuming so much information that I lost the sense of discernment because I was consumed with fear. Then sat down at some stage once my aunt got herself vaccinated, and I was so relieved when she got vaccinated. And I thought, why am I scared then? Don't I want to protect her and people around me and this country and my community? So I should probably get vaccinated as well. But at the time, I wasn't, our age group wasn't allowed in yet. So as soon as that happened, I immediately registered and went over and got vaccinated.
Okay, so now that we've established that, yes, you're younger than me, thanks for rubbing that in. Now, I know exactly how you felt, because I felt the same. As soon as my mom had been vaccinated, I just breathed a sigh of relief. And it's part of a bigger picture. It's part about, I think, of thinking about everyone else as well. But you're so right. We've been bombarded with this kind of negative misinformation, and I love a good conspiracy theory, and man, there have been many. But let's look at the dark half of that equation. Why can't we afford vaccine hesitancy, especially in those most vulnerable communities, do you think?
Wow, because this virus is moving faster than us. And if we don't catch up and find a way to deal with it efficiently and effectively, which is, for me, what I learned. Because I just thought, if I just wait long enough and see how everybody else reacts to it, or, I just made up every excuse to avoid the conversation of me getting the vaccine particularly, just because of all the conspiracy theories you've mentioned. But we can't afford it, because there are people out there who can't afford healthcare like maybe you and I can if they were to get in trouble. We saw what happened to the hospital beds and the availability issue that we had there. It was very problematic. People are dying and the virus is mutating, and it's not waiting for us to figure out what must happen next. And every time we miss an opportunity to catch up with it and get ahead of the virus itself, itself, it doubles up on us, you know what I mean? And we're always starting on a back foot because no one really expected this to affect the whole planet the way that it has. So we cannot afford it because people are dying, people are suffering, the economy is suffering. We are in a recession. Africa is in its worst recession in 25 years. We cannot afford to be stuck in this situation. So we have to take action and find solutions and stop focusing on problems and the fears that we have and deal with that by consuming the right information and stop only finding information that agrees with the patterns you found are true to you in this situation.
Completely.
Preach.
Why were you so keen to jump on board to be an advocate for spreading this message to get South Africa vaccinated?
For me, accepting the invitation was just a thing of, you know, this influence that I have shouldn't be about just for the clients I have that benefit my world and my life in terms of having fancy things or a fancy lifestyle. Sometimes it's important to take a step back and take responsibility and spread messages that need to be spreaded for the people who are choosing to listen to you. And because those people will then go speak to other people who listen to them. And you can just be a conversation starter in this way.
Sure.
And challenge the status quo, you know what I mean? Because right now, like I said, people are scared. And for me, why I think I'm in a good position to do this is because I've been on both sides of this coin. I have been scared. I have been doubtful. I have sometimes been spreading stories that I did not verify, you know, properly just because I was so scared. And yes, it's okay to be scared, but it's not okay to stay in that place. And it's not okay to spread fear, to support your reticence or reluctance with a particular situation, and in this situation, the vaccine. There are many people out there who can help, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity, and that it came at the time when I was also ready for it, because there was a time when I wasn't ready for it, and I'm happy to always be honest and tell the truth to people, because I don't want it to look like, oh, but Paul said to me the other day. No, I was very doubtful, I was very scared, you know, and I'm not going to repeat the things that people were saying, because it's not right to repeat things that you cannot verify. But we can verify that vaccines work. We can verify that there's a 30-year-old technology that's created these vaccinations. And if people were dying from these vaccinations, over 200 million or so people have taken this vaccination. Why is everyone not dying? That's because you're scared. It's okay to be scared, but just get the right information and get yourself out of that slum.
No,
Ladies
completely.
and gentlemen, 2021 Miss South Africa, Paul Thusi.
Look, you were awesome back then, and you're awesome now, and it's so true. You've got to be authentic when dealing with something like this, and not just grasp hold of the facts that support your argument, as you say, but look at what's actually underlying. And people will take other vaccines and other medications that haven't had nearly as long a track record as this vaccine, yet we are still filled with fear. So we're going to do as much as we can to dispel that. So the first stop-off point, I think, get online, follow @ViralFacts on social media to get the health info and news updates that you need to stay informed. Get the truth.
Stay tuned as we've got more with the fabulous Paul Thusi headed your way.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We are back with the beloved and bodacious international South African actress Pearl Thusi, who has crept her way into South African hearts with her outspoken and fearless take on life. She is awesome, and she was last on our set just a few weeks before South Africa went into COVID-19 lockdown. So we want to find out how life has been treating her, since we know that no one has been unaffected, and in her industry she certainly has been hard hit, and we love the fact that she is behind getting vaccinated, so that's a massive kudos. But Pearl, welcome back. We just want to make sure that you are doing okay during these times, and I'm going to kick it off because I think one of your greatest joys, obviously your gorgeous daughters. What are some of the ways you and your daughters have been connecting with each other and getting through this lockdown period?
Wow, lots of TV, we read together, we work together, so we all share an office, and everyone has their own activity to do. And, you know, children, not to be calling children monkeys, but like monkey see, monkey do, you know, you have to not preach to children, you have to show them. And I've learned a lot about myself through my children. Like, I've always believed that kids are a mirror of who you are, you know? And if you want your kids to change their behavior, especially with my younger one, because we met when she was 3 years old, there's a lot of challenges that I face with her, and it's very difficult to to get through those type of things sometimes, especially when you're together the entire day. But it gives you more of an opportunity to connect and make those changes. It's been really tough, but we found things to do together. Music, we dance together. Me and Tando work out together. We walk the dogs together. So that's been really fun, like just connecting.
It's beautiful to see just that connection between the two of you. But let's talk about your other babies. You have a few beloved pooches that you enjoy spending time with as well. What is the value of being able to spend more time with them and also having them in your life been?
Were they worth the new house?
100%, 100%, totally worth it. We got 2 more now because the garden's pretty big, and I think my older dogs needed help. I'm going to give you a whole lot of information that makes no sense just because I could never stop talking about my dogs. But I'm
the
very
same,
happy.
don't worry.
I've had so much fun with them. I sleep with them. Sometimes they walk into the shower with me. It's going to be weird, but it's great.
They are our children, and I've done the same thing. I also got like a rescue cat on top of the dogs, and it's so beautiful for my kids as well. So I get you completely. I understand that.
And scientifically, they help with stress levels. It's been scientifically proven that you can combat depression and things like that. So maybe this is why I'm still here, because of my kids and my animals and my pets, which is
therapy dogs, man. Let's call them what they are. They're therapy dogs, and we've all needed a little bit of therapy. Now, this is something I'm dying to ask you about, because I would imagine, being the firecracker that you are, you've recalibrated, you've looked at a new set of opportunities, despite, and obviously you had a host of amazing opportunities laid out before lockdown hit, and I'm assuming none of those have gone away, even if things have been paused. What are you going to be doing next? Give us a sneak peek into what is the next project that's got you excited. What can we expect in the future for Pearl Thusi?
Oh my God, look, man, the game is to be sold, not told. That's my mantra. Right now, I'm saying, guys, hashtag be a saver, get vaccinated, protect yourself and the people you love around you. We're doing this not just for ourselves. As we mentioned earlier, Graham, like when someone that we love got vaccinated, that sense of relief made you realize that, hey, maybe this is the right thing to do to protect this person further that I love so much. So, I mean, other than that, there are a lot of projects I'm looking into. A lot of them haven't been finalized. And I mean, I want to be honest and say, like when Queen Sono got cancelled, I don't think I had enough time to process that, because my father passed away earlier in the year. Later on in the year, the show gets cancelled because of COVID and the issues surrounding that and how we were planning to do the show. So people should go out with blood and water right now, because things are still happening. But I was pretty hurt by that. And I think for all the hurt people have experienced during this time, like take time to process that, take time to be kind to yourself, take time to meditate on how that's affected you, what it means, because what's meant to be will be. Yeah, there is a lot coming. It's just always hard to say. I'd like my moves to speak for themselves.
Yeah, no, as long as we get the exclusive once it happens.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I feel your heartache, because Queen Sono for us was one of those things. I remember when you came on the show that day when we kind of got to revel
Best
in it.
day ever.
You were just so kick-ass, and it was just so cool. So I feel you, man. I've also lost a couple of big things like that, so I get where you're coming from, man.
I could listen to you for the entire day, just as pearls of wisdom, but we're also at the end of Women's Month. What message of solidarity would you like to send out to your fellow sisters so they can always carry the empowerment of this month with them?
Sisters, I wasn't expecting this question, so I'm excited to answer it. But we're not the problem. As women, we are not the problem. I believe there should be a men's month, maybe a men's year, just to focus on healing, because we are the ones we are the victims you are afflicted upon. We are not the problem. And for women to ever consider the idea that they might be the problem, I don't know why so much of the time victims are the ones who are highlighted, because people say, oh, such and so was raped. They will never say such and such is a rapist. You know what I mean? We don't focus on the person who's violated the other. And why are people so damaged and triggered and hurt and traumatized, so much so that they can easily hurt other people? We need to heal the men of this country. And when I say we, I mean as a collective. I'm not saying that's a woman's job to do. But I really think that women now look in the mirror and see themselves as damaged or problematic. No, only hurt people. And the person who hurts you definitely needs more healing. Maybe not than you do, but definitely needs the type of healing to create a situation where they stop afflicting themselves on women. Stay strong, cry, find joy for yourself, Be the multifaceted beauty goddess that you are. You are love, you are joy, you bring life to this planet, you are magic. Live that, believe that, and never let that go.
Pearl Thusi, we love you, girl. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning.
Same. I miss you guys so much. But thank you so much for having me. Hopefully we'll see you very soon.
Oh, man, we are always fired up by the indomitable energy, the spirit of Pearl Thusi, and we can't wait to see who and what she is going to dominate next, because it is coming.